Hello YouTube, Jerry Kirkpatrick here, and it's been a while, about a month since I've been here. I've been editing and posting all of the videos from the metal bashing meet. You saw Mick Clark do the fender. You saw Aaron Green do the stainless steel exhaust tip, and Ron Covell, who did the 1932 aluminum gas tank. So it was a pleasure putting all those videos together and putting them out, and I'm sure that a lot of you got a lot of good new information from those that set of videos. So to get on with the task at hand, I made some very simple, I almost hate doing this type of work, but I got a call from a fellow in North Carolina who wants to put a mantle, and he wanted some very simple brackets to mount the mantle to his chimney breast. So these are just 1/4x2 hot flat bar, and the angles have been welded on them, and the one that will be in the front here has a nice radius ground to it, so it looks fairly well. But the back corner in here is just a butt weld, and it looks terrible as far as I'm concerned. And if you remember, quite a while back I did a video on using Romex as brazing rod. Well, that's what I'm going to do in this area here, to put a fillet in there so it has a nice radius on the inside corner here to match the outside corner here. And all I'm going to do is use a piece of Romex. I take one of the pieces out. There's a ground, a neutral, which this one is, and a black, which is a hot. So I just use a short piece of Romex copper rod wire, strip the insulation back, and I'll be just filling this area in here. After I get a bunch wetted in to that area, then I'll go back over it very slowly with the torch. That will allow the copper to make a nice radiused fillet in this area. So let's get over to the welding table and we'll get this started. So as you can see, I've got the bracket set up on a lightweight brick that doesn't take very much heat away from the parent material. And here I've got a fairly good length of Romex wire stripped down, and we'll do a little bit of preheating and then get the piece hot enough so we can run the copper. Okay, we've got enough heat in there to start laying it in. It's just barely red hot. So I'll put this first drop in here. and see how it wets out. Looks like I'm going to need just a little bit more heat. Here we go. I can see it start to flow out now. And then very slowly I'll just start adding a drop as I go along. Giving it enough time to flow out. It's almost the same as cast iron welding. You just have to wait for the material that you're welding or brazing to get hot enough to allow that drop to flow out. Adjust the torch a little bit here. See if I can get just a little bit more heat out of it. I'm just using a number 1 tip. And what I'm using is a Hinrob welding torch, and I think one of the reasons why this can be done without using flux is because the Hinrob burns so clean because of the very low pressures that I have to use. I'm only at about 4 pounds on the acetylene and about 4.5 pounds on the oxygen. Then with this first pass, I'm just going to lay the copper in there any way it wants to go. I'm not concerned with the look of the joint at this point. I'm only wanting to get the amount of copper in there that I want, so I can make a second pass and just smooth that whole joint out so it's nice and smooth. It'll be one nice fillet when I'm done. And there I have the amount of filler material. Now I'm going to go back over it, and I see a little low spot here. I'm going to get that filled up. Once again, you have to wait until the material is ready. You don't just hop in there and start adding material, because you'll be just adding it on top. I want to make sure this gets all the way down to the root. I think that'll do it now. I'm going to just start right back from the beginning. Add just a little bit more rod, and then start chasing this puddle all the way to the other end. Go very slow and allow the copper to flow out evenly on both sides. Need just a little bit more right there, just one drop will do it. And allow all of that to meld together. So while I was seated and had everything set up, I went ahead and did the second one. And as you can see on the left, that's how they come when they're finished. Well, let's call it brazing. That black, if you just quench it in water right away, most of that black pops off. But the one on the right here, I just hit very lightly with a wire brush, stainless steel wire brush, and then hit it a few strokes with the Scotch-Brite, the maroon Scotch-Brite. And as you can see, that leaves a very nice fillet in the corner of that bracket. So there you have, just using regular old Romex. Strip it back. I used maybe that much for both brackets, and as you can see, that leaves a very nice radiused corner in there. So when this is sitting on the chimney breast, you'll see a nice radius corner here. If you look up under the mantle, you'll see a very nice radius corner in here also. So all I've got to do now is I'll bead blast the areas that have the heat affected zone, and then I'll put some primer on it, and these things will be finished. So in my next video, it'll be nothing in particular number 6. And over the holidays, this is right at the end of January, just before Christmas, I made quite a few new purchases, and I'll be showing you all of the neat stuff that I got, and I will be telling you what my next few videos are going to be. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. And if you want to see the first video that I did on copper brazing, you can look at the link right up here in this corner. If you bought me a cup of coffee, that would be greatly appreciated. See you later.